Audi TT Mk1 US car price comparison.
Hi all, Andy here and welcome back to the channel, where this week I've been focusing on investigating the prices of Mk1 TTs in the USA. So I teamed up with fellow YouTuber Hunterdirection to investigate the prices of very similar cars both in the UK and the US. And I think the results are somewhat surprising. For those of you that don't know about Hunter, please do check out his channel and I will leave a link to him above. Hunter has not had his car too long, but he has made some great videos on tracking down faults since he's owned it, so I really do recommend checking him out. Hunter and I both used the website Auto Trader to find these cars, and we used several scenarios such as cheapest car available under a certain mileage, cheapest 3.2, cheapest 225 and various others. And here's the results from what we found.
Welcome along to our US based Audi TT pricing video. So we're going to look tonight at Audi TTs that are based in the US for sale on autotrader.com, and I am joined tonight by fellow YouTuber based in the US, Hunter, and Hunter is going to talk us through some cars that are for sale. So Hunter, welcome to the show. Do you want to tell the audience a little bit about yourself and your YouTube channel?
Yeah, my name is Hunter Desimone. By trade, I'm an engineer. I graduated a little over a year ago, and I started a YouTube channel to kind of document my hobby of working on cars. I picked up a Mk1 TT 225 that I bought broken, and I've been slowly restoring it and building it, and I've completely fallen in love with the platform.
I mean, Hunter, I've been following your channel for a little while now, and we've been conversing about different topics, and we felt this was a great thing to share with our audiences because there's a massive price difference between the prices in the US and the UK. So tonight, we're going to look at the prices of TTs in the US. So Hunter's already looked on Auto Trader and found some great cars. So we're going to start off, I think, Hunter, with a car you found. And do you want to talk us about this? This is the cheapest TT you found, is that right?
Yeah, so we used Auto Trader because it's a site that we both have and we both searched basically countrywide. And this was the cheapest Mk1 Audi TT that I could possibly find. And I wouldn't exactly call it a great car, but it is red. It's a 180. It's in pretty rough shape, to be honest, but it comes in just under $3,000 US.
So it's lost its front bumper.
It's not even the whole bumper, though. It's just the bottom half.
Yeah, that's really strange. I can see that. I don't know if you guys at home can see that, but the lower half of the bumper is completely missing, although it has got the license plate.
That definitely doesn't look like a stock exhaust either. No. It seems to be straight piped.
The second picture down doesn't look any better. Paintwork looks pretty bad. In fact, if we look at the rear of the car, yeah, the exhaust is definitely not stock. And there seems to be an awful lot of clear coat flaking as well around the rear window. And those wheels, do they even match? There's a gold one on the back, silver one on the front.
Oh, that's a good point, yeah.
On the left-hand side of the car, they're both silver. On the right-hand side, one's gold. That is a crazy car.
Did you get a chance to look at the interior?
Oh, dear. Someone's left their sweets or candy in the footwell. Wow.
The seats look to be in pretty decent condition, though, for the rest of the car.
Maybe not the floor mats.
Yeah, no.
I think they left home about 10 years ago. Okay, so that is our first car of the evening. So, Hunter, that was nearly $3,000. Would you say that's a typical car?
I would say quality-wise, that's pretty low. And it looks like that was listed at a dealer, too, which kind of surprised me. Generally, you can look at paying a little bit more for one that's more of a daily drivable condition. That one needs a lot of work. But if you're looking for like an actual project or something to restore, I'm sure you could probably talk them into a better price given the condition. It's not. There are better options, though.
So if we were looking for a similar car in the UK, that was a 180 as well. You would probably get a sub 100,000 car with great paintwork, full service history, just to give you an idea. And I know that Hunter and I are going to do a separate video on the UK market for Hunter's channel. So please do check out Hunter's channel. I will leave a link to Hunter's channel in my video description. I'll also put it on the screen above. Okay, so that's our first car. Let's say that's our aperitif, our opening gambit. Hunter, have you got another car for us?
I absolutely do. This one happens to be the cheapest 225 I could find in the States.
So Hunter, this next car you're talking about, I can see it on screen, or rather I can't see it on the screen. There's no pictures, and this one seems to be $5,777. So what do we know about this car?
So from the lack of pictures, we know that it is a 2001 TT 225. I wanted to kind of be true to the challenge and actually show the cheapest one that you could find in the States. So it doesn't have a picture, but I wanted to follow the rules. Allegedly, it has 140,000 miles. It's got the 6-speed, so that matches. Apparently has a green exterior, which would be pretty rare if it's actually true, but part of not having pictures is you actually don't know until you go see it in person.
Yeah, so I wonder what color green that would be. There are a couple of different shades, and it is a really rare color even in the UK. So the price of that in UK pounds, I would say around about £4,600 looking at the exchange rate. I don't think there are any 225 cars for sale at that price, unless they've got about 50,000 miles on the clock. Turns out I was wrong, because I found this 2001 225 coupe for sale on Auto Trader in the UK for £4,600. However, the mileage was well under 100,000. And they are immaculate. I'm just going to fade the details back in again. So let's just go through that one more time. There's 140,000 miles on the clock. Green exterior. It's a 1.8 and it's a 225, as we know. So it's a manual transmission. So I guess for a US car, that's quite unusual. Or would you say there are a lot of manual Audi TTs in the US?
Most of the TTs I've seen in the States are stick shift unless they're the 3.2.
So for the American market, would you say that puts people off being a stick shift?
Not necessarily. I think the saving grace of this car being a stick shift is that it's kind of a lost art in the States, and it's something that newer enthusiasts are looking for. And this is obviously not a car someone's going to buy as like a daily driver nowadays. This is something that it's a very specific car for a specific audience, and usually it'll be owned by someone who cares about cars. So they might be actually looking for that.
As we've said, in the UK, we would class this as a lucky dip because you've got no idea what you're getting, and you'd say it would be a gamble. So I think this is one that I would leave well alone without pictures to see what you're buying. So the next car in the challenge is to find one with less than 100,000 miles for sale, and it be the cheapest car. So Hunter, what have you found in that bracket?
Yeah, so this is a doozy, and it's probably going to shock a lot of you based on the price and what I've learned about the UK market. This is a 2003 180 Roadster. It is black with 96,600 miles. It's a 6-speed automatic, and it comes in at a whopping $8,499.
Wow. That's just wow.
Yeah.
If we were looking for a similar car in the UK, it would be significantly cheaper than that, let's just say. For you guys in the US, that would be acceptable. That's not an out of this world price. That is an acceptable price, yeah?
Now, as of today, that is a normal price. I don't know if I'd go so far as to say that it's acceptable, because roughly 2 years ago, I would say that's probably a $3,000 car. So it has gone up tremendously in the last few years.
Wow. So price have gone up that much just in a few years on these cars.
I mean, I bought my 225 from a local dealer for less than half of this price.
So if we take another look at that car, because I think there's some more pictures. So let me see what I can find. Okay. So if we scroll through the pictures, so it looks in fair condition. Maybe a few marks on the front. Head looks pretty clear. Has got those very old looking wheels. They do seem to come in a lot of the Roadsters in the US. Do you see many cars with those wheels?
I've seen a lot of pictures of Mark 1 TTs with those wheels, but I don't know if I've seen any in person with them.
When you say you've not seen any in person, have you seen many Roadsters around the US?
Yeah, I've seen a few. Definitely not a common car, and I always get excited when I do see a Mark 1 TT. Ironically, when I bought mine, the dealership had also just gotten in another Mark 1 that happened to be a black Roadster.
So would you say the most common Audi TT Mark 1 in the US is the coupe and not the Roadster?
Absolutely. Yes, absolutely.
Yeah, I'm not sure what the split would be in the UK because now it's summer, you see a lot of Roadsters around. So the next car on the challenge was to find a sub 100,000 mile car that wasn't a 150. Now Hunter is telling us they don't really do the 150 in the US. So this next car, Hunter, is it a 225?
No, it is not.
Okay. Is it a 180?
It is. It is indeed a 180. It is a 2003 180. Specifically, it has 68,000 miles. So this actually is a much better deal than the last car. And it costs $1 more than the last car.
Right. So I'm looking at the description. It's got yellow leather seats. Now, I'm presuming that's tan. We call it tan in the UK, not yellow.
Yeah, I think that was an error on the input of Auto Trader because I've never seen tan listed
yellow
as yellow.
So would you say tan in the US?
Yeah.
Call
at 100%. 100% you'd call that a tan interior. Maybe Auto Trader.
But it's not baseball stitch. No. Do you have baseball stitch cars?
Allegedly, we do. I don't know if the seats were imported and installed aftermarket or whatnot, but I know for a fact that I've seen pictures of people in the States with them.
There would be some sort of irony that you can't get baseball stitch seats in the US.
Absolutely, yeah. I would think we would have them.
So the baseball interior is seen as the holy grail by some, and others it's like, no, it wears really bad and the corners are bad, and it's. But personally, I like it, but I don't own any. So I also asked Hunter to see if he could find us the cheapest 3.2 for sale in the US on Auto Trader right now, and he's come up with a red Roadster. Looks very nice, and I'm going to share that on screen right now. So here's the car. It's up for $9,950. How many miles has it got?
139,000, so about 140. It's got vanilla leather seats, which is very specific. I guess another way to say tan.
Yeah.
It seems to be the same interior as the last Roadster. Just have to have a different way to word it.
Looking at the pictures, though, it looks in really good condition. Paintwork looks great. Do you find that the cars vary in condition depending on where in the US they are? So if you're in a dry state, let's say Arizona or Colorado, or
in the States, you specifically want to know if your car is it's from a location where they salt the roads, because that can cause a lot of rust. And I know some states do and some states don't. So that can really affect the condition of a car, because if it's coming from an area where rust isn't common, you're generally a lot better off than an area where there's rust all over.
Okay, so that looks a really nice car. It's a 6-speed auto, so it's got the DSG gearbox. But again, that's up for $10,000. So in the UK, if I had to spend on a 3.2 Roadster, it would have, I would say, 50,000 miles. Not 140.
That's crazy.
But that might be because there's more of them over here. That's something I don't know, how many are left in the US. That would be quite an interesting fact to find out. So we have a website in the UK called howmanyareleft.co.uk. And you can put your make, model, version, whatever you need into a website, and it will show you how many are left. So I know roughly right now there are 650 3.2 manuals left on the road in the UK. There are also about 650 3.2 DSG gearbox cars on the road. So we've got 1,300 that are roadworthy. So Hunter's found us a Roadster. Now it's time to find a 3.2 coupe. So Hunter, what have you found in the 3.2 coupe world?
So according to Auto Trader on the day that I looked, this is the cheapest 3.2 TT for sale in the States. It's a 2004 with 114,000 miles for just about $10,000, $10 shy. And it is silver.
Ah, the lovely silver. A very polarizing color in the UK. Some people love it, some people hate it. In fact, I saw a silver 3.2 on the day that I bought my car, and it looks very similar to this one, complete with the standard Rona wheels. Let's have a look at some of the details of it. Now, what's quite interesting, looking at the rear of this car right now, is your rear bumper in the US has a much narrower area for the license plate. So your license plate hole is big enough for a US license plate.
Yeah.
So obviously in the UK, ours are much longer and thinner. So we've got a much wider bumper space. That does look quite different. It looks a nice car, even interior, it looks quite good.
Yeah, looks very well taken care of.
Yeah, the wheels look great, unless they've been refurbished. Okay, so that's the end of the 3.2s. You said you got some other cars for us to look at. What have you got?
The next one we found was the most expensive Mark 1 TT that you could find. This should be interesting.
That's not hard in the US.
Not at all.
Am I going to fall off my chair?
Not really. It's, I mean, for what it is, it's pretty expensive, but it's very low miles. In great condition, too, obviously.
So I've just pulled that car up that you've mentioned. And yes, I'd say it's probably on par with maybe our most expensive Audi TT for sale in the UK right now. But really, at the top end, I don't think there's much difference. So do you want to talk us through this?
Yeah, so it is a 2003, once again, silver, Audi TT 225. It looks to have the 5-spoke wheels, the Fat Fives, as we call them over here.
Yeah,
I don't
Fat
know if
Fives.
that's those are pretty desirable here, actually. It's a Roadster, which may appeal to some people. And it's got around 18,000 miles, and it really is in very good condition, obviously, with the low miles.
So I'm just looking at that car up close, and the shine on it and the headlights look like they've just come out of the factory. They look amazing. That is such a good condition car. But we're looking at a 225 with only 18,000 miles on the clock, and it's $24,900. So let's say that's just over £20,000. It's probably a little bit high for the UK, but I think there are cars in the UK that are fetching around that sort of money, or at least they're being asked for that sort of money. But the miles are probably in four figures, 4, 5, 6, 7,000 miles. But you've also got to think, if the mileage is that low, has the car been driven enough? You can drive a car too little, I think.
Absolutely.
Things start to seize up.
Yeah,
tires
gaskets
perish.
will definitely fail.
Have you got any other cars for us to look at?
Yeah, so I found two. They're TTs, but I found a Mark II and a Mark III.
These
these are wild cards. Wild cards.
Yeah.
So I found a TTRS and a TTS. Let's start with the TTS.
So the first of the wild cards is a Mark II. So let's take a look at that right now, and you can talk us through it.
Yeah, so this is a 2013 TTS. It's got just about 90,000 miles, what is quoted as a scuba blue metallic exterior. It's got the 6-speed auto. These only came with the DSG in the States. And it is about $23,000. So right about what you would pay for the most expensive Mark 1.
Does look a nice car. There's a lot of pictures too.
That's always a good sign. What would you say the equivalent UK price for a car like this would be?
Oh, now you're asking a question that I don't know the answer to. Maybe half of that. Less than half.
Half?
Mm.
Well, that's not even fair.
I'm not sure of what the UK car value would be for that. So what I will do is when we do the equivalent video for Hunter, I will find that car in the UK and I'll let you know what the price is. So make sure if you are watching this video, watch the follow-up that will be hosted by Hunter on his channel. Okay, right. So that's wildcard 1. What about wildcard 2?
Wildcard 2 is a 2019 TTRS, by far and away the newest car on the list.
Yeah, at 2019, that's going to be asking serious money.
Yeah, a lot. By like 7 Mark 1s.
Wow. What is this, a Porsche?
Basically.
Okay, so I'm going to share that with the audience at home. It is a TTRS, though, to be fair.
It is, yeah. So you've got the rear 5-cylinder.
But it is $72,000.
That is a lot, yeah.
I'm looking at the miles there, but I guess it's a 3-year-old car, so 22,000 miles. That should be about
pretty
right.
normal for a 2019, yeah.
Yeah.
It's nothing crazy.
Now, I can't really comment on the price of the Mark IIIs because I've done no research on that. But I will make sure I've done some when we do your video. It does look a really nice car, though.
Yeah, I'm sure it's plenty fast.
Oh, yes. It even looks fast.
Yeah.
Love the seats. Love the badge. Love the wheels. Love the brakes. Love the engine. In fact, there's not an awful lot on that car that I don't like.
If I could get it in a stick, that would be the preference.
If you're going to drive a car like that, you need a stick.
We don't have that here. No, the TTRS doesn't come in stick.
So it's only an auto box.
I'm pretty sure, yeah. Because I mean, the DSG is so much faster, but it's not as. It's a little soulless.
Controversial.
Very controversial.
Right, well, I think we've seen some great cars there. I think the general consensus is the price in the US are crazy. That's how I'm going to sum it up. So I feel really sorry for you, Hunter, in the US for buying a Mark 1 because it looks like the prices are nuts.
Yeah, they have absolutely gone up in value since I bought it, and it's crazy to think of people who are just trying to get into the platform now in the States and what kind of a hurdle that is, and it's so much.
Both of our eyes were opened, but what we're seeing on the other side of the pond, you were seeing it as like, wow, I can't believe how cheap they are. And I was like, wow, I would not be buying one if I was in the US. But obviously in the next episode, we will get to see the UK prices on your channel. So make sure you tune into Hunterdirection to see the outcome of the second part of this video. So Hunter, I want to thank you once again for showing us those cars. Thanks for your time. You take care.
Yeah, thank you so much for having me. This was a really good experience.
I hope you found today's video useful. If you have, then please do give it a thumbs up, and also think about subscribing to my channel if you've not already done so. Here you'll find a whole host of content on the Audi TT Mk1. Also make sure you check out Hunter's channel. Again, I will leave a link to him in the description. As always, thanks for watching and see you soon. Take care.